Alright guys, I'm going to say something really controversial in this video, and to be truthful, I don't think it's that controversial as it is, as much as it might have been 5 years ago. So here it is. Traditional schooling is a scam. And yes, I know there are degrees that are worthy of this, that. If you become a doctor, and if you become a lawyer, and if you become an accountant, and an engineer, I get all that, right? I've been to school, I've been to university. I'm not going to say where because they might disown me, but I went to a really, allegedly one of the best schools in the country, and some of you guys know, I had really good grades. I wasn't a bad student. I graduated with a 4.0. And that's not like a bragging thing, that's just to say that I really tried to get that 4.0. It wasn't like I was smart, I actually worked hard. And I tried hard to get that grade. And I can still tell you that school is a scam. I was a good student. School is still a scam. I paid for my own education out of pocket. It's a scam. The reason I'm saying that is because of the structure of school. So even the good degrees, right? Let's talk about the way like medical education is, or the way engineering education is. And if you talk to anyone who has an engineering degree, that I've talked to at least, and again, I'm maybe a small sample size, I have yet to hear someone that said, yeah man, I couldn't have done engineering without school. I think all of them realized that it was just a direction. Maybe 30% of what they learned was actually because of the school, but 70% of the learning was all individual. And they had to teach themselves all this stuff anyway. Whether you went to a good school or a bad school, the studies are pretty much the same. Actually, it's kind of funny. The best education that I really received was at community college. And the primary reason for that is because the teachers that we had, they weren't doing it for money, because you don't really get paid anything at the community college level. And as we went to the best university that I went to, that was garbage. I mean, the professors didn't care. Everybody was just trying to get tenure. There was a lot, you could just see there was like a hierarchy of politics between the new professors, the aides, the tenured professors, and then the heads of department. There's just like this nonsense going on, and nobody really even cares about the students. There's 300 students in a lecture hall. That credit hour was like $900, and I paid, I don't know, $4,000 for this class over 3 months, which the professor never even spoke to me. In the real market, if you pay $4,000 for something and someone says, hey man, you pay me $4,000, I'm gonna teach you, the value they have to provide is completely disproportionate to university, right? Because the market will take them out. You don't get to stay in business if you take $4,000 from someone and then never talk to them. But I have paid from, at this point, and again, the reason I say school is a scam, because I have spent $50,000 on traditional education, and I have spent over $100,000 on non-traditional education, like coaching programs and books and whatnot, travel for including all that, well over $100,000. It's probably $100,000 a year, to be honest. And I can tell you right now that all the money that we're spending on personal development and coaching, if any of these coaches, let's say I'm paying a coach $2,000 a month, if that coach doesn't give me value for like a month, what am I doing? Keep paying him? Absolutely not. I would stop paying him and sold everybody else. And that coach would be out of business. However, that never happens to universities. They keep churning out more and more degrees every year that are worth nothing. As they say, not worth the paper that they're printed on. All these kids coming out with degrees in God knows what, to be honest. If you just take out, most degrees are in the humanities, or like in the arts and sciences or whatever, and the liberal arts. And I don't know if anyone that comes out with a degree in sociology or gender studies or whatever. Again, I'm not trying to pick on any department. I also was in the liberal arts program, communication, for instance, right? I studied accounting, communication, business. And to be truthful, I don't know if I learned something that was shattering, right? I got a lot of things. I learned how to think. I'm not saying that the whole education was useless, but for what you pay for it, the amount of money that you pay for it is completely a scam, right? You pay $50,000 for something you could probably learn in 6 to 8 months watching YouTube and just getting some mentors, right? Like seriously, it's just, that's my experience. I graduated summa cum laude, top of the class, and I can tell you that was my experience. I'm sorry, I went to the best schools in the Midwest probably, and I can still tell you that I could have learned all that through reading books on my own. So if you really want to learn, what I'm saying is school is a scam. You can learn these things. Well, Zane, you need degrees to get jobs. Really, do you? Because almost every guy that I know that's making over $100,000 will tell you that the degree wasn't necessary. Again, keep in mind, that's outside the corporate America stuff, right? Which we can have another video on how corporate America is a scam. But if you're watching this channel, you probably already believe that because you're probably in the small business realm. So stop sending your kids to school, man. Seriously. Like, stop telling them they need to go. If they want to go to university, have at it. But when you push kids to do that and then make them feel like losers for not taking out $50,000, $100,000 in student loans that they can never be forgiven, which, by the way, we can make another video on that on its own, how student loans are a scam. By the way, that is also tied to why schools don't go out of business, because they're federally subsidized. We have no problem giving a $100,000 loan to an 18-year-old who has no freaking idea how to do the world, and we can give them $100,000 to go get a degree in basically uselessness. And if that same kid comes to us and asks us for $5,000 or $10,000 from this local credit union, they would tell him to go to hell. What's up with that? Are we discouraging innovation and growth? right? We're not betting on businesses and commerce and genuine. What's the best education you can get? Now let's talk about it. Well, Zane, you're always slamming school, right? I am slamming traditional school because, by the way, the other part that I forgot to mention is time. Maybe your parents are rich and 100 grand is just a drop in the bucket, but what about 45 years of your life? The average 4-year degree is now taking 5 years. 5 years of the best years of your life where you're curious, you have all this energy, you're physically fit, your brain's still fresh, and you're going to spend that doing doing you know what kids do in college and they go off to college and hang out, right? You know what you do during whatever, right? I mean, we're not going to go through it, like rush week or whatever when you're trying to get in fraternity. You see some crazy things that these kids are doing. And the thing I'm saying is you lose 5 years, you don't get paid for it, you probably didn't do any OGT on the job training, you have no practical skills, you learn nothing, you were in a bubble, and 90% of kids don't even use that bubble for what it really is, which should be time for you to think and reflect and meditate because you're protected from the world. Instead, you become degenerates in that time because you're protected from the world. And I'm trying to tell you guys that the 5 years is way more of an atrocity and an abomination than the $200,000, the $100,000 that you could spend, right? Why? Because that 5 years, you could get a springboard on the rest of your life. Like when you're 70 and you have 5 or 7 years left, because the average male lives till 74 right now, and you're like, man, I only have, historically speaking or statistically speaking, you only have 4 years to live, and you look back from the age of 18 to 23 where you just wasted your life doing nothing. Instead, you could have used that time to build real skill, and the best part is you could have gotten paid for it too. What are you losing, right, when you go to college? You're not just losing the 100 grand in tuition. You're also losing, at the very minimum, if you made 40 grand a year because you're worth nothing, and then 50, and then 60, and then 70, you're losing a compounded gain by not working. You're probably losing $200,000 from the age of 18 to 23 because you're making, let's say, $50,000 on average. You start at 40, and then by the end of 23, you're making 60, which is like, dude, there's not much money at all. But you're losing 250 grand by not working, and then 100 grand for paying them. You're 350K in the hole, and the best part is you learn nothing that you could actually get out and put to work and pay bills with and support yourself and be a useful member in society. If that's not a scam, dude, I don't know what the hell a scam looks like, because that's like the scammiest scam. And you know what the best scam? The best scams are the ones that are marketed as opposite of scams, right? That's what makes them really juicy, because like it's never going to be coming up at a student campus, hey man, we're all being like led to slaughter. Does anybody notice that? Like, can you even smell that? Because that's blood. These dudes graduating right now that don't have jobs, that's blood. The dude that just graduated and studied, I don't know, dude, psychology, is getting a job working as a receptionist at Lifetime Fitness. If that's not slaughter, that dude could have done that without the $100,000 in loans, right? If you're gonna be a receptionist at Lifetime, go be a receptionist at Lifetime. Don't go to University of Kentucky, take on 100 grand in loan, and get a degree in psychology, and then you go down there and you are working on the front counter and living in your mom's basement. And by the way, you probably picked up like alcoholism, because statistically speaking, if you're going to be an alcoholic, it's going to happen during living on campus, right? If you're going to do cocaine, that's the most likely place that you're going to do it. That's all statistics. I'm not trying to make fun of it. There's other things I can make fun of college for, but that's a hard fact. If you're going to pick up a drug addiction, it's going to happen in college. And to me, it's just so silly that we tell young kids that they're losers for not doing good in school, when school itself is like useless, right? It's just like your measuring stick is broken, and you're telling everyone else that their height's bad, but you don't even realize that your measuring stick is broken. And to say nothing of these young guys, if you're waking up and you're in this company and you're like, dude, holy crap, I can see the Matrix. Holy crap, we're being unplugged. I'm telling you right now, look, I'm not trying to change the world or anything like that. I don't honestly care that much. What I do care about is the people that work in the company, and us being good and us being useful to our community and profitable. But I will say, man, if you are somebody that can look beyond it, I have my hats off to you. I'm very proud of you to be able to see and think on your own, because it's very hard to be the guy that looks at the whole world and says, holy crap, man, I know in my heart and in my gut that this doesn't make sense, and then you act on that and say, I'm not going to be like these guys. I'm not going to be normal. I'm done. I am finished. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then you do something about it. You make a decision, you move forward, and you change your life. Get to work. The best part about what we do is we not only are learning what we're doing, we're actually literally in a school. I was talking to a guy in our company that started out at, when I met him, he was making $23,000 a year. He will clear $200,000 this year, and he's done it in less than 3 freaking years. Right, and the best part is he's not only learning skill set, he's also learning life skills. He's learning to be a leader, a man, of somebody useful in society, a pillar, an oak tree other people will sit under. And you're gonna say, oh no, I need to go to college. All right, man, you have fun with that, because someone's gotta rip you off. Let it be them. I'm just joking. Please listen to what I'm saying. It's not something that, if you're under the age of 30 and you're still like, hey man, I need to get another degree. Dude, what are you, a thermometer? You're gonna have all these degrees? Like, what's the point? Like, one degree didn't work, so let me get 2 more. What are you trying to do here? Trying to be like an almanac or a record book? Like, put that away, man. Let's get to work. Let's get some stuff done. And you need skills, you need a team, and above all, you need to believe in yourself. So get that done. Let's go.